Well, here's that joint that caused the problem. I'm just going to jam things back together. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. The best I can for you. I have to pull this rail in. That one on the left, I have to pull that in a bit so the wheels don't catch it. But you can see it's been getting banged up pretty good. It does happen. So we'll grab the old track gauge and a bit wide for 7.50. Let's go to 5.6. Okay. Alright, so right there is right on for 7.56. I'll just put that right there. Okay. Alright, so that's a little narrow for 7.56. But you know what? 7.56 is our furthest out that we can go. That is the far extreme of the tolerance. So we can be in a little bit. There we go. Grab a drill. Back this off so maybe you can see a little more of what I'm doing here. Okay. So I've got my 1/8 inch drill. I'm going to start with that. A couple of joint bars here. Why am I drilling these out, you ask? Well, they're not made for the type of screw I ended up with. They're made for number 3 screws. I have number 4s. So a quick way to fix that, just drill it out with an 1/8 inch drill. Alright, it appears I'm going to have to get that drill extension. So that means different size drill here. I'll use that 1/16 to start the hole with, and we'll step up to it. Put that right in the center of the slot. That moves around a lot. All I really have to do is put a pilot hole there. So, pilot hole there. I'll put this pilot hole here. Get that out of there. There. Did it without breaking the drill too. That's a bonus. Alright, step up to a bigger drill. got a burr there I gotta remove. There. Dig around for some screws here. There we go. There's some 440s here. One, two, three, and four. This is the boring part where everybody tunes out, right? Well, it's okay. Got my handy dandy screwdriver. And see if I can find 4 good screws, or 4 good nuts. There we go. Here's one loose nut. There's a second loose nut. There's a third loose nut. There's a 4th loose nut. And the 5th loose nut is behind the drill. Ha ha. Funny. I don't want that one. I think I want this one. I think I want this screwdriver because it does it's a better job. All right. And I'm on my knees in the ballast on the ice. This is uncomfortable, but I gotta get done. This is winter railroading in Vermont. It's not Club Med. Thread this one on. The last one's always the hardest. All right. So I stagger them for whatever reason. I don't know. I had a reason at one time, but I forgot what it was. Tighten all those down. Got these cheap all orange needle nose pliers, so then I could find them when I lose them in the ballast. And you wouldn't believe how handy the color is. They're not great pliers, but I can always find them. Let's put that stuff back in the track box. I do believe, yes indeed, that is a lovely repair. To be honest, I probably should have done that 5 years ago, but I didn't. And am I going to do that one right now? No. I don't want to be kneeling in that stuff right there. It's cold enough over here. It doesn't look icy right here, but believe me, right below that top layer of ballast is very, very cold. Okay, and I do believe that is not quite fixed. I see a bit of a kink here. Still frozen there. Well, I guess we'll just have to tiptoe across it. I just gotta grab that car. So I put the other ones in the shed already. I'll put tools right here. All that back up to the engine house. There we go. I better get to it. Adventures in backyard railroading indeed. Where's that other one? That one's right there. You know, I should probably fix that joint too. But I just don't feel like it. Let me see. What's going on down here? I guess I gotta cross it, so if I gotta cross it, that means I don't need to fix it. Throw the spring switch over. Back her on up. I'll go ahead and back up, right? show you something. We have some water here. It just doesn't have anywhere to go. That'll melt. It'll cause a frost heave later. The track will tip and twist. And this is why we don't melt the snow away. If you have a keen eye, you might be able to see the frost heave right there, where the track tends to twist a little bit and it tips towards your right. And it's a little bit hairy riding on the engine doing that, or going across that. But it eventually straightens out. I have to straighten out the drainage in there on the left side. Clearly there is not enough water draining off it. But I'll probably also straighten out the drainage on the right side, because I assume that water is draining across the track there. So, so it's draining from over here, across here, and then freezing when it gets over here. So, one of those things I've been meaning to deal with for a number of years. I just haven't gotten to it yet. And it's getting more and more pronounced all the time, so it's going to be time to deal with it fairly soon. Let's zoom back here for you to give you a better view. Escapee. There's always one who has to fly the coop, huh? Alright, you gonna get out of the way? Alright. Yeah. Off the track. Thank you. Throw the iron, bend the iron. Now this car is going to derail because this track twists. Let's see if we can go slow enough so the car doesn't derail. Maybe. Maybe. As far as I'll go. Set the parking brake. There we go. Parking brake is set. And let's put the engine away.